Alright then guys, what's up? This is HungriCroc coming at you now here on Wetlands as myself as here as the Orc player, good old Orc versus human matchup itself here. This is Fat Boy as a human player right now. Going now, putting down his Altar of Kings, putting down a farm itself, giving each other good luck, have fun, and he does say you too as well. Very polite, very courteous with the barracks, Altar of Storms, and an Orc Burrow being placed down here. And this map right here, I have played this map a few times, a few games here. I like this map quite a bit actually, and if I do say so myself, honestly, I've noticed that for myself personally at least, Night Elf and Human tends to be the most difficult matchup I tend to have on Warcraft 3 itself. I have faced considerable difficulty against human players in general, and probably one of the few strategies I've seen the most utilized besides Archmage is, well, with Archmage itself, is going to be probably utilizing Archmage with sorcerers, priests, you know, a lot of spellcasters in general, and also annoying blood mages. Now, blood mage does have that flame strike, I do believe. Flame strike usually pretty good. Usually I would see the blood mage come in through this side right over here, and then he will start playing putting down flame strike right here on my peons. My peons are forced to either inhabit these orc burrows to retaliate or to fully escape, or risk getting burnt to crisp bacon if anything, and that's a problem. I don't appreciate that. It's a very annoying strategy, but proves to be very effective. I don't know, however, if human player has put up his barracks fairly late. It does seem slightly delayed compared to that of my barracks over here, HungriCrocs. But he is now, Fat Boy, getting back to the game. He is now getting his Archmage. Archmage, very good. Definitely going to get out that summon water elementals. Elementals doing very good damage overall, piercing damage. And when they hit level 3, I do believe the water elementals have about 900 HP. Quite a substantial amount actually, and definitely having dispel magic or disenchant or whatever, some sort of dispel magic is going to be really needed if anything. Archmage now, Fat Boy does have his Archmage, does have now a single lone footman out here. They will probably begin creeping out this creep camp, if anything, right over here. Very low level creep camps right here. Very should prove relatively easy. Will we see him pull any will he pull off any peasants? I'm expecting him to pull off peasants relatively soon right here, if anything. Come on, anytime. Oh, and he's getting already a keep right now. So human player is now getting additional footmen, now getting a keep. He has not begun attacking these creeps right here. Now is going to put down a water elemental and should begin to tank the damage received from those minions and begin to deal some good damage right here. Now my Blade Master, HungriCroc's Blade Master, now doing some good creeping right here. Just a single hero right here. Does not even have an orc out. Does he have a grunt? Yes, he does have a grunt. Lone grunt right over here. But the Blade Master is more than sufficient to take out these creeps. As you can tell, he is just simply taking out these creeps right here. Does not have any items, but he does believe pick up a tome, if anything. Probably tome of strength or something of such. Archmage right here now has 2 footmen. I'm surprised, however, he is not pulling off any peasants to help with militia, to help out with the creeping process. Now putting down the lumber mill. Lumber mill is very good building, needed for necessary upgrades for your masonry. Masonry upgrades and overall to definitely enhance and upgrade the structure of your buildings and giving him additional hit points and armor. Now, as you can see, HungriCroc now just continuously doing creeping with his lone Blade Master right here, trying to kill out these Murgle Snarecaster level 4 creep right over here, doing some good damage, and he is taking some damage. He does not have any healing cells, as you can tell. If we go back to HungriCroc's base, he is not taking up to Stronghold. If we go back to Keep, both players are now on the same path, about halfway done to getting to Tier 2, now putting down a Voodoo Launch for HungriCroc and an additional Orc Burrow to supplement his army and his food count. Still no peasants actually here for Fat Boy. Perhaps he does not need him to take out this creep camp, if anything. Perhaps he does not need actually peasants, but I would slightly surprised, because I thought that honestly most human players, especially for much heavier creep camps, would pull off peasants and convert them to militia to begin taking off these creep camps. However, Hydra level 6 is going to go down relatively fast, does have a full surround by the militia. HungriCroc now with his Blade Master disappointed and unable to find the creep camps right here, as they have been already killed off. If anything, very good play. Does pull off a level not level 2, does manage to pull off a 2 HP footman right there. Hopefully that footman does not get targeted. I don't think that AI will target that footman. And oh wait, footman does go down. That's unfortunate. Very easy loss. That could have been very quickly avoided if the Archmage had not pulled that footman back into the fray. However, footman does go down. If we go back here now, let us see what is going on right here. No second hero. I am usually expecting to see a Mountain King, if anything. But now he's getting additional footmen right here. 2 more additional footmen queued up to supplement his army. And as we can see here, HungriCroc now level 2 Blade Master. Tome of Strength should be picked up relatively quickly. And if we check his base right here, now we see finally a War Mill and a Bestiary. Seems to be a fairly normal build for HungriCroc in terms of Orc build itself. Putting down that Bestiary for Raiders, definitely essential to probably ensnare these very damaged HP footmen right here. Level 2, now level 2 Archmage with the Claws of Attack +6, and now HungriCroc is going to go for this creep. He's going to get a full surround on this level 6 Stormreaver Necrolite. Yes, he does. Chain Lightning does go down. Critical Strike is going down on this Stormreaver right here. Should be taken out. Yep, 66 damage, critical strike right there, and that Stormreaver does go down, leaving nice Mantle of Intelligence as well. And I believe that was a Tome. No, I do not know if that was a Tome of Experience or not. It might have been. I do not recall, honestly. Archmage right now getting that. What is he getting? Scroll of Regeneration, Ivory Towers right here. He might be thinking of making a push, maybe some sort of expansion, if anything. And he is now getting a Paladin. Interesting enough, Paladin does have Holy Light, Divine Shield, and Devotion Aura. Definitely a very good support hero, if anything, for the heal, and giving that, I believe, 0.5 armor initially with the Devotion Aura, I believe. HungriCroc now getting that Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter, very good support hero for that healing wave. Does help out his grunts quite a bit. Now it's adding healing styles to his grunts. However, this army is significantly smaller than that of Fat Boy. So we check the supply of 3742 to 3650, fairly close. Now looks like Fat Boy is going to move his army of footmen. Look at all these footmen right here. So many footmen right here. Very cheap, very inexpensive units, but however very good units in general, actually. Very cost effective and anything. Now we'll be taking out this Stormreaver Necrolite, leaving a Tomb of Knowledge and Mantle of Intelligence. Very nice items for the Archmage right here. And it does seem like Fat Boy is going to consider putting down a fast expand right here in the near future. HungriCroc now doing some scouting, does intercept this Paladin, but however he is forced to retreat. There is a Priest right here, a Lone Priest. Lone Priest might get taken down, but this is a really bad engagement. HungriCroc is now forced to retreat. Too many footmen, too much support gained from that Paladin, and also the fact that the level 3 Archmage is there to do some good hero damage. Shadow Hunter, Lone Troll, Headhunter right there. Mostly for grunts only at this army. Will we see any upgrades? Melee, steel melee upgrades going down, and we do see a blacksmith right here, but there is no upgrades on the units itself. Now getting additional priests to heal up his army, and now looks like he's getting a workshop. Perhaps we will see some mortar teams, if any, to deal some good sufficient siege damage against HungriCroc's base. HungriCroc now pulling off a peon from the work line. Looks like he will be setting up an expansion relatively soon. Right over here, if anything. Expecting expansion to go down right here. Yep, the expansion does go down. Great Hall is going to be put down. Mantle of Intelligence and Tomb of Intelligence does need to be picked up by the Archmage. Archmage, you really need to pick that up. Come on. Very nice items right there. Yep, Tomb of Knowledge and that Mantle of Intelligence, definitely giving now +3 intelligence to the Archmage itself. Healing going down. Looks like these units may consider doing some more additional creeping. HungriCroc now finishing up this creep camp right here, if anything. Does a very good job right there. Now a healing wave from the Shadow Hunter itself. Still level 1 itself right now. If we see any additional upgrades, no, it looks like it's relatively passive, if anything. Workshop is nearly complete at this point, and now it looks like Archmage is now putting down these scout towers that are now upgrading to the guard tower itself before putting down his town hall right here to set up his expansion. Both players now. Fat Boy is taking to tier 3, upgrading to a castle, and HungriCroc is not upgrading to a fortress just quite yet. If anything, he is getting now steel ranged weapons level 1, and is now looking to do some creeping, take out this creep camp right here. However, this is going to be a problem. Human player is moving out. I'm pretty sure he does know what to expect, and this base is completely isolated, completely left undefended. Watchtowers are not even finished completed at this point, and HungriCroc now, seeing that he is now forced to make a teleport back home, but unfortunately he cannot teleport back to his base because this base is not fully set up, and the slaughter of peasants shall initially begin. Human player is now looking to apply perhaps additional pressure. Kodo Beast now out. Slowed grunts. Not going to take some time to catch up with the rest of his army, and now the human player is now falling back and retreating. With now, looks like now with his guard tower set up, is now feeling safe to put down his town hall. Workshop is right here. Blacksmith not producing anything. Lumber mill not producing additional masonry upgrades. No additional footmen are being produced and nothing. Oh, wait, I take that back. Mortar teams are now being produced here. Looks like the human player is now going to do some creeping right here. Going to take out this level 6 Hydra and 2 level 3 Hydra hatchlings right here. HungriCroc is now forced to just twiddle his thumbs at this point, thinking of what he should do. His expansion was canceled, if anything, and now he is on the back foot. Watchtowers right here might receive some pressure, but he is now forced to fall back. HungriCroc does not like the idea of receiving piercing damage from that guard tower. Human player is realizing that he is relatively safe with his towers, is content to just finish completing this creep camp, and does receive a circlet of nobility upon his level 1 paladin. Single mortar team is now up, doing 52 to 64 additional good damage in terms of siege. No additional upgrades being met, and no additional buildings or upgrades being met either for the human player. Tier 3 is met, however, for the fat boy, the human player, but no fortress and no tier 3 for the orc player itself. Additional grunts being produced. Spirit Lodge now upgrading Spirit Walker adept training, going to give that ability to cast disenchant. HungriCroc is anticipating spellcasters from the human player itself. Spellcasters very powerful with their priest and sorceress, doing good slow and doing good holy fire, I do believe, giving additional attack damage and movement speed. I believe that is how it is. I'm not exactly quite sure. Now level 2 paladin. Will he pick up that Tomb of Strength? I do assume he will. Nope. Yes, he does pick up that Tomb of Strength, and a Cloak of Shadow is now left behind. No, it is no, it's picked up by the Archmage itself. Very nice. Very nice items indeed. Town Hall, no additional peasants being pulled off the line to assist in this build-up. I'm actually surprised. I was expecting additional peasants to come over here and hasten this building, but it is not happening. So Great Hall is now nearly completed and finished here. Additional barracks being put down. Additional priests now being in queue and being produced, and additional mortar teams now being created as well. So it looks like an army of footmen, priests, and mortar teams, all really cheap, good units to deal good damage overall against orc player, is going to be built. Orc player content to build additional grunts, has Kodo Beast, has a level 3 Blade Master, and level 2 Jojo Head Shrinker Shadow Hunter. Human player just content to continue his creeping. HungriCroc is a bit uncertain as what he should do. He is looking to solidify his expansion and protect it from any incoming human threats, but the longer this expansion continues, the more of advantage the human player has. The human player is doing some very good creeping. Level 3, now level 4 Archmage, and I believe this will become perhaps a level 3 Paladin relatively soon. Maybe not from this creep camp, but oh, maybe he will. No, he will not become a level 3, but he will pick up that Claws of Attack plus 6. I'm expecting him, unless the Archmage human player might give it to the Archmage itself. Human player is just idling right here. Not sure what he's doing right now. He should be doing something, if not continue additional creeping. However, human player not getting additional upgrades, now getting a rifleman. Rifleman, nice ranged units going good additional piercing damage with relatively good range, and can also get those upgrades for long rifles, I believe, increasing the range by 20. Spirit Walker now out with level 1 adept training. Are we seeing additional units being trained? Yes, Demolisher. Looks like HungriCroc does have in mind to lay siege to this base. There are only 2 guard towers, but who knows, the longer this game progresses, the more likely that the guard towers will be established, if anything. No additional units being placed as well. Demolishers now bringing their siege weapons to bear upon this base. It looks like the human player is looking to get around, do some damage around here. A knight is actually out. Knights, very heavy melee units with good additional hit points and very high DPS amount of damage as well that they can dish out. This is a relatively fortified base, but it looks like the watchtowers are going to get singled out and get focus fired by the mortar teams and stuff. This is going to be, will this be a fierce battle? Looks like the priests are now falling back, mortar teams are now falling back, human players are on the retreat, if anything, fearful of receiving any damage, and a level 4 Blade Master now with thanks to the kill of that rifleman. Units for Fat Boy's army. What is this? Oh no, this shaman, he's going to get singled out. He is going to get killed relatively quick, and he is taken down, giving additional experience to that level 2 paladin grunts. They need to fall back. Actually, you need to join in with the rest of your army and attack in a concerted effort as a team together. Grunts, however, are 1-1. Footmen are not. They are unupgraded footmen. Well, footmen are relatively cheap and inexpensive units. However, they are definitely not as beefy or as strong as the grunts. Grunts at 800 HP versus that of the footmen's 420. A single guard tower is taken down. Human player is now not putting additional guard towers, if anything, and he is content to continue mining, but it does look like, are we seeing any additional units being produced. No additional units are being produced. No, I take that back. Knights are now being produced. Powerful mounted warriors with the animal war training upgrade being purchased as well, perhaps in the near future. This demolisher is by himself. This is foolish. HungriCroc, oh, that's such an easy kill, and that should give perhaps level 3. No, it does not give level 3. Grunts isolated by themselves. Where's their hero? Yes, while grunts are very powerful units now with level 2 melee damage, they cannot go toe-to-toe by themselves. They do need support. This knight is going to be a problem. There's quite a few footmen, quite a few priests, mortar teams in the back doing good additional damage. This Kodo beast will go down, and this troll hunter does get turned into mush. This level 2 Shadow Hunter is getting focus fire. This is, oh, he's receiving so much damage at this point. And this knight is not going down thanks to the healing of the priest. Will he go down? Actually, he should go down. And now level 3 Shadow Hunter. He does become level 3 Archmage now in the back. Where is the Blade Master? Blade Master needs to do his best. Blade Master is attempting to focus down this level 4 Archmage, trying to take it out. But now there's 2 additional knights to help in the background. And the Shadow Hunter does go down. Grunts fighting fiercely, hoping to gain some ground, and Archmage is now going to retreat. This is quite a close battle on level 5. Level 5 now, Blade Master, and these grunts, relatively low HP, need to retreat, need to fall back right now and get some additional healing. Alright, human player, that was quite a vicious fight. Human player still does not have any upgrades. That is a problem. He needs to get more upgrades. But look at how many knights he has queued up. My gosh, at these 2 barracks, 3 additional knights, 2 additional knights here being queued up for training. And this is going to be a problem for HungriCroc. HungriCroc with these grunts, even though yes they do have an upgrade advantage, they do not deal as much damage as the knights itself. Knights are very powerful units, very heavy powerful units in general, and this is going to be a problem. If HungriCroc does not get to any other units, or perhaps such as that of Taurens with Pulverize would be an ideal situation, an ideal unit choice to counter these knights, or perhaps even air units. But now finally Fortress is going down, a late Fortress if anything for HungriCroc at this point. More knights being assembled. Looks like now more mortar teams being produced as well. Finally, a priest adept training being upgraded for upgraded priests, and another priest being built. And still knights are on the line, and looks like they will be produced in mass. This is going to be a problem for HungriCroc. These grunts are relatively low on hit points at this point. And yes, while the Shadow Hunter is being respawned with that healing wave, how much of a difference will that make is the question. Now another furious fight goes down. HungriCroc with his Blade Master attempting to focus down these mortar teams that are doing good siege damage in the back. However, this Blade Master might not go down. He has a relatively low points at 148 HP, and these grunts, without the healing support of their Shadow Hunter, will go down and fall to these knights. Spirit Link does go down, but it may be too little too late. Blizzard now falling, raining down hail upon these grunts and these orc units, and looks like the human player is forcing himself to retreat. But for how long does HungriCroc retain the advantage, if anything? This is proving to be relatively problematic. Knights, such a powerful unit against the grunts, and grunts again, they need to have Taurens as support with the Pulverize. But HungriCroc does not have Taurens. He is still got about a little bit to go for his fortress to complete. But the question is, will he go for Taurens, and how will he counter this? More grunts being produced, additional upgrades not being produced, blacksmith not producing anything, and still more priests, more mortar teams, and more knights are being produced for the human player itself. Blade Master, while he does deal good critical damage, does need to be cautious. He is relatively a low HP hero. Yes, 900 HP does seem like quite a lot, but he's still a relatively fragile hero. If he gets focused down, he will go down relatively quickly. Shadow Hunter is now up. He is probably, what is he getting from this Voodoo Launch? Are we going to see, looks like a potion of mana to store 150 mana in order to provide that healing wave. Healing wave, an essential support ability needed for these grunts right now. And oh my goodness, look at this. These knights are gearing ready to begin another assault. Still, are we seeing? Oh yes, looks like iron forged weapons and iron plating is now being upgraded for the knights itself, making these knights much more fearsome against the grunts. And grunts, let's see, do have damage reduction of 15 in comparison to knights 23%. And with that iron plating, it will certainly raise the damage reduction quite a bit significantly, and that will be a problem for the grunts itself. Blade Master doing some good damage against the level 4 Archmage, but it's mostly superficial at this point, as he is just relatively fine with this army of knights at his side. Mortar teams, priests in the back. These knights will be leading the frontline charge. A single lone guard tower is here for the human player itself, and both players now relatively tentative about what to do next. Looks like Looks like, if anything, let's see now. No, he is not supply block. More knights being simply trained up. So this human player is going simply for a huge army of knights to lead a charge. 31 to 43 damage now, because of that +1 melee upgrades, and Blade Master now does go Windwalk. There is no dust of appearance, but if anything, I do believe Fatboy feels relatively confident that he will not be disturbed. A critical strike does go down. Now begins the final assault. Grunts now wading into the fight. Knights waiting in, getting ready, dealing some good damage. Healing wave does go down. Blade Master receives quite a bit of damage and is forced to back off. Are we going to see a Spirit Link? Spirit Link is down on the Grunts. However, Grunts are dealing good damage with their axe, but the Knights are too strong, too heavily fortified, dealing so much damage. Mortar teams weighing in, doing good focusing fire on the Shadow Hunter itself. A lone Wind Rider is there, bearing his piercing damage from the skies, but it will not be enough. The Grunts, while they are tough, strong warriors and quite beefy, they cannot withstand the fact that the 1/1 Knights are dealing so much damage and have much great damage reduction at this point, and it looks like this will be the end of HungriCroc. HungriCroc unable to counter the Knights, the powerful play of Knights at this point. He will fall and he will go down. More additional fire, and looks like these Knights are leading the charge, going to take down now the Shadow Hunter. Watchtowers now trying to do some piercing damage, trying to defend this base of HungriCroc, but it's too little, and there's nothing going to be done. Mortar team's doing so much damage, and HungriCroc will call the GG at this point, and that will be the game. Unfortunately for HungriCroc, he did not tech to tier 3 fast enough. He did not get Taurens to pulverize and smash those Knights into the ground. That was perhaps the biggest loss and reason why HungriCroc has lost this game, but another loss can be another learning lesson for the future itself. Hope you guys have enjoyed this gameplay content, and until next time when I bring you more Warcraft 3 gameplay itself, see ya.